द्रष्टुं लक्ष्मीं नृसिंहचरित्रवनिकपात्रं श्रीरङ्गवीररघुराक्षरगोपहृज्यं वेदान्तदेशिकेन्द्रमहं प्रपद्ये श्रीमते श्रीवंशगोपश्रीवेदान्तदेशिकेन्द्र नमः देशिकाय नमः। ओम अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः अस्मत्परमगुरुभ्यो नमः अस्मत्सर्वगुरुभ्यो नमः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं दैवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। श्रीकृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः। I don't know why Mala asked dharma from Mahabharata. This Mahabharata seems to be endless. The amount of dharma that is given at various times is beyond our imagination. Well, for all practical purposes, we have seen how Vidura is telling dharma. In fact, Krishna has shown his Vishwarupam. When Krishna came for mediation before the Kurukshetra war, Bhagavan Sri Krishna has shown the Vishwarupam. Duryodhana tried to capture Krishna. Now, if you look at when Krishna came for mediation, Vidura directly told Dhritarashtra, there is no greater dharma than following Krishna's instructions. So let us see what exactly is again Vidura saying. Specifically, Vidura is instructing unfortunate Dhritarashtra. He won't listen. He will simply say, yes, I understand, but he won't follow. The exact words of Vidura to Dhritarashtra. Yat tvam ichchasi Krishnaya rajan na tidhaye bahu etad anyaccha dashargah prudhivim api charhati. Vidura is telling Dhritarashtra, Dhritarashtra, you are trying to offer so many gifts to Krishna to mesmerize him. You know, even when Krishna was coming from Upaplavyam to Hastinapura, Duryodhana also wanted to mesmerize Krishna. So that's it. Overnight, he ordered rest areas en route from Upaplavyam to Hastinapuram so that Krishna can rest comfortably, relax for a few minutes, and then drive like that. So Vidura is saying, Dhritarashtra, when Krishna comes here, you wanted to mesmerize him with all your gifts? Oh, what after all are your gifts? See how beautifully Vidura says, even if you offer the entire world to Krishna, he is the most qualified one to receive it. That is the supremacy of Krishna. Sometimes people feel, oh, I have given $100 to the temple. I have given 1,000 rupees to that Krishna's temple. You know what Vidura says? Even if we give the entire world to Krishna, it's nothing for Krishna. He is the only recipient. Now, most of you, I do not know. Let me see. Just a small diversion. Mm, Dilip, your mother tongue is Hindi, right, sir? Dilip?
Yes, Swamiji.
When you were a child, if children have to say, hey, are you telling the truth? Okay, swear on God, swear on truth. What do you say in Hindi? How do you say in Hindi?
भगवान कसम.
भगवान कसम. सत्य के ऊपर प्रमाण करो. सत्य का कसम और सत्य they don't use.
Yeah.
Because in my language they say, will you do satya pramanam? Will you do satya pramanam means will you take a oath in the name of truth? Hmm? Nalini, your mother tongue is Tamil, amma. Nalini. Okay, Mala, your mother tongue is Tamil, amma.
Yes, Swamiji.
What do you say in Tamil? Satya mela pramanam pannunga? When children, when they fight, somebody says something, somebody says, I can't accept. How do you say in Tamil, make a promise in the name of truth or God? You forgot. You forgot.
No, I think I've heard Satyam Pannunga. I know Nitya can tell better. Nitya, right?
Everybody will say, can you make a promise? Can you take an oath in the name of Satyam? Now here comes Vidura. Natutvam dharmamuddishya tasyana priyakaranat. Etad ditsapi krishnaya satyena atmanamalabhe. Satyena atmanamalabhe. Satyena atmanam alabhe means Dhritarashtra, I am swearing in the name of truth. And when we are children, we say, hey, put your hand on my head and then do the promise. That means if you are telling a lie, I'm going to die. Some people will say, swear on yourself. Means you keep your own hand on your own head and give a promise. Means if I'm not telling the truth, I myself should die. Could you recollect those things?
Sriman Narayan Acharya ji. Emmela Satyam, Ammela Satyam, we will say Acharya ji.
What is it, Amma?
Amma Mela Satyam, Emmela Satyam.
Exactly.
Amma Mela Satyam. Yeah.
Satyam means if I'm not telling the truth, may my mother die. Is it not?
Yes,
Amma Satyam?
Yes, Acharya ji.
Exactly. If I'm not telling the truth, if you swear on your mother, that means you are swearing. If you are not telling the truth, may your mother die. So here Vidura is telling that. Can you imagine? Satyena atmana malabhe. Dhritarashtra, I am taking an oath. I am swearing in the name of truth, and I am swearing it on myself. If what I say is not true, may I die. That is what exactly is swear on myself. Vidura is telling Dhritarashtra, you are not planning to give all these gifts to Krishna because it is a dharmam to give to Krishna, or you are not giving them to Krishna out of love for Krishna. Again he says, I am telling you the truth. This is all the drama you are playing. मायैषा सत्यमेवैतत् छद्मैतत् भूरिदक्षिणा जानामि त्वन्मतं राजन् गूढं बाह्येन कर्मणा. Dhritarashtra, you are creating a drama here. You are creating a scene here. This is not dharma. You are actually covering up, you are cheating the Pandavas with this kind of gifts to Krishna so that Krishna will be mesmerized and will go away. Is that what you are thinking? There can be no stupidity. See how dharma changes. So anything that we do should be there in accordance with the dharma. Can you imagine Dhritarashtra sitting on the Simhasanam, Vidura going and approaching directly to Dhritarashtra and saying, you are actually acting up all these things. panchaiva lipsanti gramakan pandavan rupa. Hey Dhritarashtra, forget about half the kingdom. Even if you give five villages, Pandavas will be happy. But you know, Dhritarashtra, you are such a mean fellow. Having the entire kingdom, where 50% of it belongs to Pandavas, having cheated Pandavas in the name of a fixed up gambling match, taking away their kingdom, and after the stipulated 13 years period, instead of returning their half the kingdom to Pandavas, even for 5 villages you are not ready. Panchaiva gramakan. It looks, Dhritarashtra, you don't want to follow dharma. You are creating a show here. Now, see how dharma, Vidura says. Dhritarashtra, are you planning to buy Krishna with your money? Are you planning to buy Krishna by giving him a costly gifts and arranging a overwhelming reception to Krishna so that Krishna will forget the purpose for which he has come here, and that you can mesmerize Krishna so that Krishna will not go back to Pandavas? Are you planning to separate Krishna from Pandavas? Are you trying to attract Krishna to Kauravas' side with your lavish receptions, gifts, etc.? Now comes the truth, ma dharmam. Nacha vittena shakyavasau nodyamena nagarthaya anyo dhananjaya tattam etat tattam bravimite. Vidura, see how dharmam says. Dhritarashtra, if you are planning to attract Krishna to your side, you are making a big mistake. Listen to me, I am telling you the truth and dharmam. Even if you offer the wealth that is available in the entire universe, you cannot buy Krishna. Even if you try any other tricks on Krishna, you cannot buy Krishna. You can never separate Krishna from Arjuna, because they are Nara and Narayana before, the twins. Now Krishna, he says, Veda Krishnasya Mahatmyam. Dhritarashtra, you do not know who is Krishna. I know who is Krishna, Paramatma, Paravasudeva. Now, when Dhritarashtra arranged a very lavish reception for Krishna, you know what Vidura is talking about, the greatness of Krishna? Dhritarashtra, Krishna will not accept any of your gifts. He will only accept 3 things. The Purna Kalasham with which you welcome Krishna, because the guest has to touch it, indicating I accept your welcome. And Krishna will accept only just a little water to wash his feet. And Krishna will accept only the one question you ask, Krishna, are you all safe? Kushala Prashna. Other than these 3, Krishna will not even touch anything. Could you see how crooked people work? Could you see how dharma differs? In spite of that, Dhritarashtra did not learn. Small question. The entire Bhagavad Gita is about Krishna. Then how come it starts with Dharmakshetre Dhritarashtra Uvacha. The very beginning of Bhagavad Gita is Dhritarashtra Uvacha. I told you many times. Anyone of you remember why Dhritarashtra Uvacha?
Because we are blind like Krishna, like Dhritarashtra.
What is it, sir?
Because we are blind like Dhritarashtra, we can't see the truth.
No, Dhritarashtra is physically blind. But even though we have eyes, we are spiritually blind. Dhritarashtra knows what is dharma, but he doesn't want to follow. Most of us know what is dharma, but we do not want to follow. When we say Mamaka Pandavashchaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya, Dhritarashtra is asking, what are my children and what are those Pandavas doing? See, we know dharma will win, but we do adharma. We know we have to treat everyone the same. But we say, my people and those people. Dhritarashtra is physically blind and we are spiritually blind. Vidura told Duryodhana, Duryodhana, out of your stupidity, you are trying to tie up Krishna and make him a prisoner. You are thinking of taking Krishna a prisoner. What Vidura says, Grahitu kamo vikramya sarvayatnena madhavam grahitum nashakachainam tan tvam prardhayase balat. Stupid Duryodhana, you are trying to tie up Krishna and keep him a captive prisoner? Nobody can even touch Krishna. He is Madhava. He is Shriyapati. Have you forgotten, Duryodhana, when Krishna went to put an end to the atrocities of Narakasura in Pragjyotishapura? Narakasura, with all the Mura Pashas, etc., tried to imprison Krishna. Could he? Narakasura thought there is no end for him. Have you forgotten, in spite of Naraka having a long life, it didn't take Krishna 1 second to put an end to Naraka? And again, Vidura is reminding Duryodhana, how stupid you are, Duryodhana, that you want to bind Krishna, you want to tie up Krishna. Govardhano dharitascha gamardhe bharatarshabha. Have you forgotten, Duryodhana, this Krishna, even as a little child of 6 years, could lift the entire Govardhana hill and keep it on his little finger for 7 days non-stop? That Krishna you are going to imprison? Have you forgotten, Duryodhana, that great hero, Banasura, with 1,000 hands? Banasura, the son of Bali Chakravarti, and the great grandson of Prahlada, and Banasura having a special agreement with Shankara and the entire following of Shankara, Ganesha, Subramanya, Nandishwara, Pramadaganas, everyone, could not even stand before Krishna. When Krishna did Sammohanastram, everyone, Shankara, Ganesha, Subramanya, Nandishwara, Pramadaganas, everyone were there put in a trance because Krishna didn't want to hurt the Devi Devatas. sent them away from the battlefield. And when Krishna did Chakra Prayogam, Sudarshana Chakra Prayogam, even 1,000 weapons released at the same time by Banasura with his 1,000 hands is no match for Sudarshana. That Sudarshana is Krishna. You are trying to imprison Duryodhana. Vidura is reminding Duryodhana. Duryodhana, after all, you are a king on the planet Earth. Maybe you are a Chakravarti or a Chakravarti's son. But do you know, Duryodhana, the greatness of Krishna? Indra, the king of heavens, was beaten left and right by Narakasura. Indra came and begged Krishna for protection. Krishna went and killed Naraka, took the kundalas to Svargaloka to offer to Aditi. Satyabhama desired the Parijata Vruksham. Krishna brought. Indra came to fight with Krishna. Duryodhana, what after all you trying to imprison Krishna? Even the god of heavens, Indra, is no match for Krishna. Even the god of heavens, Indra, Svargadhipati, Nakadhipati Indra, is no match for Krishna. Have you forgotten Parijata Paharanam? Have you forgotten Krishna wiped out the unimaginable demons Madhu and Kaitapa? Have you forgotten there was another demon by the name Hayagriva and Krishna killed them in his various incarnations? And now he is saying one more thing. Ayam karta na kriyate karanam chapi paurushe. Duryodhana, remember one thing. For everything that happens in this world, karta, karma and kriya is only Krishna and none other than Krishna. See the dharma. Ayam karta na kriyate karanam chapi paurushe. For everything Krishna is karta, no other karta. In Purushartha Siddhi, namely Dharma, Artha, Kama, Purusharthas, even for Moksha Siddhi, the reason, the process through which you can get moksha is Krishna. Anything Krishna wants, just like that he can do. Now, do you think Duryodhana will listen? All right. There is a proverb. Those people whose end is near will not listen to good advice, will not be able to see Dhruva Nakshatram, and will not be able to smell when the lamp is just put off. Dhupa Nirvana Gandham. Deepa Nirvana Gandham. Okay. Let me see. I know there is a couple of doctors here who are listening. Okay, one of the coronavirus symptoms, you lose your faculty of smell. You will lose that complete sense of smell. Right, sir? You might have heard of it, right? People who are affected by coronavirus, they cannot smell anything. You heard that, right?
Yes, Swamiji.
Yeah. Now, you know, our Vedic scholars said long time back, when your end is near. Okay, very simple, sir. Test yourself from now onwards. Because night time, millions of stars in the sky, difficult for you to identify Dhruva Nakshatram. Well, good advice. You don't even trust your own acharyas or elderly people, so forget about their advice. At least one thing you can trust yourself, whether somebody will die very soon or not. You know how? Very simple, sir. Take some cotton and make a wick out of it. Take just 1 spoon of ghee. Always ghee lamp is the best. Take 1 spoon of ghee and light that lamp. At the most, that 1 spoon of ghee will last for 10 minutes or 15 minutes. And when the lamp is almost about to burn out, that cotton wick dipped in ghee and when you light it, in a matter of 10-15 minutes, just with 1 spoon of ghee, how long the light will glow? In about 10-15 minutes, the lamp will be just burnt out. When it is completely burnt out, stay near the lamp. There will be a kind of a smell, a smoke. Deepa Nirvana Gandham. If you can smell it, your death is not near. If you cannot smell it, soon we are going to die. You can test yourself. Deepa Nirvana Gandham. As the lamp is about to be burnt out, it will burn itself completely, including the wick. When it comes almost to an end, it will emit just smoke for just 1 or 2 seconds. If you can tell, if you can smell the smoke, means your death is not near. At least for 6 months you are guaranteed to live. If you cannot smell that Deepa Nirvana Gandham, death is near. So people who are near their death will not be able to smell that. Here, the other thing Vidura says, people who are about to die will not listen to great people's advice, will not be able to see Dhruva Nakshatram, will not be able to smell the burning out smell of a lamp. Bhagavan Sri Krishna, when Duryodhana tried to bind him up, Bhagavan Sri Krishna tells Duryodhana, stupid fellow Duryodhana, after all, you a Jivatma trying to bind me, the Paramatma, do you have that kind of a rope to go round me to tie up when 14 worlds are there in my stomach? Oh, you want to see? Have a look. Here are all the universes. Here are all the Adityas, Rudras, Vasus, Maharshis. Have a look. Go and get the ropes. How many ropes can you bring? 1,000,000 ropes. 1,000,000 ropes will not be enough to tie up 14 worlds that are there in my stomach. Look at my mouth. Fire is there emitting that is capable of wiping out all the universes. You want to see the 12 Adityas? Here they are. You want to see the 8 Vasus? Here they are. You want to see the 11 Rudras? Look at them in my divine body. You want to look at the twin Ashwini Devatas? Look at them in my body. You want to look at the 49 Maruts? Look at them in my body. Indra, here he is. Rudra, here he is. Brahma, here he is. Yaksha, Gandharva, Naga, everyone you can see. Do you want to see the great heroes? Look at my shoulders. From my shoulders, one side is Balarama, another side is Arjuna coming out. You want to see the Pancha Pandavas? Look at them. Here is Yudhishthira, here is Bhima, Nakula, Sahadeva. Everyone. You want to see the Divya Ayudhas? After all, Duryodhana, your stupid intelligence, you want to tie me up? Okay. Want to see my weapons? Do not ever think I am alone, Duryodhana. Here is Sudarshana, personified Sudarshana. Here is Panchajanya in his personal form. Here is Kaumudaki in personal form. Here is Sharanga. Here is Nandaka. Divyayudhas. Want to have a look? Stupid Duryodhana. You are thinking Drona, Bhishma, etc. will protect you? Look at me. Everyone will be just crushed to death. You are depending on Karna. Oh, a million Karnas can come and will get crushed. Dhritarashtra begged Krishna. Dhritarashtra begged Krishna. Even though he is a crook, even though his intentions are never genuine, Dhritarashtra begged Krishna to give him the sight so that he can see the Vishwarupam of Krishna. Krishna is so magnanimous. Krishna knows Dhritarashtra is the worst culprit in Mahabharata, 100 times worse than Duryodhana himself. Duryodhana is a known culprit. Dhritarashtra is a culprit in the disguise of a gentleman. So Dhritarashtra is more dangerous than Duryodhana. In spite of that, when somebody is begging, Krishna, out of his magnanimity, gave sight to Dhritarashtra, thinking that Dhritarashtra, after seeing the Vishwarupam, at least will change his mind and say, Duryodhana, nothing doing, I'm giving the, not by half the kingdom, the entire kingdom to the Pandavas. But he won't. It is having a similarity in Valmiki Ramayana. During the war between Rama and Ravana, Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra could have killed Ravana effortlessly one day because Rama smashed Ravana's chariot, Ravana's bow, arrows, just weaponless. One arrow, enough to kill Ravana. But Rama said, go home for today, come tomorrow. I'll fight tomorrow. When you are there in high spirits, not when you are tired, not when you are helpless. But tomorrow when you are in high spirits, come, I'll kill you. The idea in Sri Rama, giving one more opportunity to Ravana is, if he has any consciousness left, he will do some introspection. Like a coward, I abducted Sita, sending Rama away and Lakshmana away with the cunning Maricha. I tortured Sita Devi. In spite of that, this great Mahatma Rama, with one arrow he could have killed me, but still he gave me an extension of life. I should be good enough to surrender at his feet. Rama thought he may do it. No, Ravana did not do that. Same thing great acharyas have commented. Same thing great acharyas have commented, that Krishna gave an opportunity, one more opportunity to Dhritarashtra, thinking that this Dhritarashtra, at least after seeing the Vishwarupam, may change his mind. He doesn't have to convince Duryodhana. He is the king sitting on the Simhasanam. He can command Duryodhana. He can command Bhishma to say, Bhishma as commander-in-chief, imprison this fellow Duryodhana. He can say that. But he won't. That is the problem. That's what we are as Dhritarashtra's. After seeing the Vishwarupam, everybody was surprised and shocked. Jatyandha, right from birth itself, Dhritarashtra was blind. The only occasion he got the sight to see Krishna's Vishwarupam. After that, Krishna has withdrawn his Vishwarupam, and Krishna has taken away the sight even from Dhritarashtra back, and Dhritarashtra became blind. In spite of Krishna's magnanimity in giving him the sight, Dhritarashtra did not change anything. That's where we have to learn Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre. Okay. Next, Dharma in Mahabharata. Have you heard of what is the relationship between a Acharya and a Shishya? Between a Acharya and Sishyas. Just for 1 second, Amma. Anyone of you? What should be the relationship between an Acharya and a student? Amma, anyone of you, man? Anyone of you, man? Nobody wants to say anything?
100% belief and surrender, Acharya.
Gita. Now in Mahabharata we will come across dharma when there is a fight between a guru and a Sishya. Can you guess what is that? Can you guess where it is?
Arjuna and Dronacharya.
No, Parshurama and
Bhishma, Arjuna and Dronacharya.
1 second, Arjuna and Dronacharya. Who said something else, Amma?
Parshurama and his disciple was Bhishma.
Good, exactly, Amma. Now we come across a dharma between Parashurama and Bhishma. Parashurama and Bhishma. An unimaginable fight between Parashurama and Bhishma. Bhishma's teacher is Parashurama. Parashurama is Sriman Narayana's incarnation. Again, no offenses, ladies. No offenses, ladies. I know you're all good people. My goodness. Revati, Mala, Kamala, Nitya, Nalini, Mallishwari, Geeta, Malini. My goodness. Have you ever heard of one proverb in Sanskrit? Stri buddhihi pralayantakaha. Have you heard it, Amma? I said no offenses. It decides. She will go to any extent, even to create a third world war. That's what it means. She will go to any extent to create a tsunami. Pralayam means tsunami, a war. Same thing happened. What is the fault of Bhishma there? Bhishma had a half-brother, Vichitravirya. Bhishma is the son of Ganga. Bhishma's father, Shantanu. After Ganga left Shantanu, Shantanu married that fisherwoman Satyavati. Matsyagandhi became Yojanagandhi. With the promise, the children born of Satyavati will be made the kings, will inherit their throne. Bhishma took an oath he will never marry, so that not only Bhishma will stake a claim for the throne, even if his children will not stake a claim because he will never get married, he will never have children. Well, Satyavati gave birth to two sons, Chitrangada and Vichitravirya. Even before marriage, Chitrangada died in a fight with a Gandharva of the same name, Chitrangada. Vichitravirya was a very timid fellow. Those days, if a king wants to prove his royalty or greatness or masculinity, in a Swayamvaram, he has to win a girl and marry. But Vichitravirya was incapable of and requested Bhishma, the confirmed brahmachari, can you get me a girl to get married? Bhishma smiled and said, why one? I'll get a couple of them, marry and be happy. Kashi Raja had 3 daughters, Amba, Ambika, Ambalika, for which the Swayamvaram was declared. Bhishma went, challenged everyone. He said, I'm taking away the 3 girls. All the kings started laughing at Bhishma. Oh, you are the one who promised that you will never get married, and now you want to take 3 girls and get married? Bhishma said, shut up. I'm not taking these girls to marry myself. I'm taking them to get them married with my brother, Vichitravirya. Just one day, Amba confessed to Bhishma that she is already in love with Salva. Bhishma felt very sorry for her and said, poor girl, you should have told me yesterday. I wouldn't have brought you. I'm very sorry. I'm sending you back. Go to Bhishma. I will never take a girl and get her married to my brother when she is not willing to get married. And that too when she is in love with someone else. With the due respect, Bhishma sent Amba back to Salva. Salva's only response was, shut up and get lost. Do you think I look like an idiot to you? Which honorable man will accept a woman taken away by another man? I was defeated by Bhishma. Bhishma challenged. None of us could oppose. Everybody knows when bow and arrows are there in the hands of Bhishma, nobody can stand before him. Bhishma took away. But I still have my own integrity, my prestige, my stature. He gave a big lecture to Amba. Which honorable man will marry a woman taken away by another man? Get lost, go to Bhishma. Amba came to Bhishma and said, that fellow Salva is refusing. So, you better marry me. Bhishma said, no way. Amba wanted to take vengeance on Bhishma. Tried everywhere. Nobody could oppose Bhishma. She came to Parashurama and begged him, will you convince Bhishma to marry me? Parashurama called Bhishma. Bhishma went with due respect and prostrated to his Acharya, Parashurama. Parashurama said, marry Amba. Bhishma said, no way. Parashurama said, if that were to be the case, Bhishma said, Parashurama, you are my Acharya. If you wanted it that way, you want to fight with me. It is dharma for me to fight with you, but it is adharma for me to break my promise. Look at dharma. To keep up satyam, to stick to satyam, even if you were to fight with an Acharya who is telling you adharmam, it is still dharmam to fight. That is what Bhishma did. Bhishma took an oath. Anvrata dosham, asatya dosham is horrible. Bhishma didn't want to break his promise. But on the other side, his own guru, Parashurama, that too an incarnation of Mahavishnu. If you don't listen to me and marry Amba, then you may have to fight with me. That is where Bhishma decided, dharma. I will rather fight with you rather than break my promise. Well, the fight started. You know the first thing? Dharmam. See Bhishma's dharma. Great man. Unfortunate. He was on Duryodhana's side. Just before the start of the war or fight between Parashurama and Bhishma, Bhishma did not start the war. Parashurama came alone to fight with Bhishma. Bhishma also said, you came alone to fight with me. I will also come alone to fight with you. Bhishma did not use the first arrow. See dharma. He allowed Parashurama to shoot the arrows first. And when 3 arrows from Parashurama fell on Bhishma, immediately Bhishma said to his chariot driver, "Stop the chariot." Parashurama started the war. He shot the first arrow. He got down from his chariot, walked all the way to Parashurama, did Sashtanga Namaskaram to Parashurama. You know what Bhishma said? He prostrated to Parashurama and said, "You are my superior, you are my teacher, you are Dharmashili, you follow your Dharma. It is unfortunate I was supposed to fight with you. May I request you to bless me that I will become victorious." See how Dharma is. Bhishma has to fight with Parashurama, and he is prostrating to Parashurama and asking for a blessing. Bless me that I should win. Means what should Parashurama say? Yes, you will win. That means I will be lost. In spite of that, Dharma is. Bhishma cannot fight without taking permission from Parashurama. To fight with an Acharya, you should take permission and fight. Oh, Parashurama was so happy to say, "Bhishma, you do not know a teacher. A teacher's heart melts when he sees a good student." Bhishma, true to Dharma, came and prostrated to Parashurama. Parashurama was so happy and said, "Great Bhishma, you are great Bhishma. Whenever somebody wants to fight with somebody superior to him, especially an Acharya or a Guru, they must first get their permission to fight with them. This is Dharma. Dharmo Shesha Mahabaho Vishishtaihi Saha Yudhyatam." So Mala, you ask Dharma, Dharma, everywhere in Mahabharata, Dharma, Mala, unimaginable number of times. You don't know how many hours I spend studying Mahabharata to pick up where there is Dharma in Mahabharata. Parashurama said, "This is Dharma." That when somebody has to fight with his superiors or teachers or elders, coming and prostrating before them and getting their blessings. Great. Bhishma, you came, you prostrated to me. I'm so glad. Had you not come and prostrated to me and started the war, you know what would have happened, Bhishma, to you? I would have just cursed you. But you know Dharma. You did. I'm happy, Bhishma. You remember the Dharma you learned from me. Now Bhishma's turn. Bhishma has to say, "Hey Acharya Parashurama, you decided to fight with me. Because you wanted to fight with me, I take it for granted it is also your instruction to me to fight with you. I did not start the fight with you. You started the fight. It is like a command from you. Either you marry Amba or fight." So I accepted the second one. I had to fight. Since you are my Guru, since you taught me Dharma, Parashurama, the great Dharma Murti, I am telling you what Dharma I will follow now. Hey Mahatma, the Vedas that you have studied, I will not fight on them. They have specific arrows and astras and shastras they can use to wipe out one by one of the opponent. The Vedas you have studied, I will not use any weapon on them. You are a Brahmana, I am a Kshatriya. I will never fight on your Brahmanism. You are a great Mahatma who did tapasya. I will never fight on your tapashakti. But, my dear Acharya, you are supposed to be a Brahmana. But the minute you took up weapons, bow and arrows, not for teaching, but for fighting, you degraded from Brahmana Dharma to Kshatriya Dharma. I will only fight on the Kshatriya Dharma that you degraded to, but not on your Brahmana Dharma. See how Dharma goes now? A Brahmana becomes a Kshatriya by taking up weapons. You degraded to the level of a Kshatriya. No problem, then I can fight with you. But still, I will not fight on your achievements of Brahmanism, Tapasya, or the Vedic knowledge. And said, get ready for the fight. Parshurama, get ready, get ready, get ready. He was just saying, get ready. That's all. Went back to his chariot in a flash, took a bow and arrows and said, Parshurama, watch out. Your dhanus is being shot. The bow in your arrows is going to break down now. Watch out. And that's it. It lightning speed. Bhishma releases the arrow. Parshurama's bow is just broken into two. Parshurama smiled and said, very happy Bhishma, very happy Bhishma. See how the Guru and Shishya are fighting. Bhishma used so many arrows. Bhishma has to fight. Parshurama is just mercilessly hurting Bhishma, just to stop the flow of the arrows from Parshurama. Bhishma has to use some sharp arrows that hit Parshurama, and literally Parshurama was bleeding. Look at Dharma. Bhishma says, shame on my Kshatriya Dharma, shame on my Kshatriya Dharma, that I have to fight with my Acharya. Shame on my Kshatriya Dharma, that I have to see my Acharya bleeding with the arrows. Bhishma is repenting when Parshurama is bleeding. What kind of an unimaginable sin I am committing? I am making my teacher, a Brahmana, a Dharmatma, bleed with my arrows. What a sin I am accumulating. And that's it. For some time, Bhishma stopped using arrows on Parshurama. And do you think Parshurama will keep quiet? Parshurama got up and started again, releasing very, very sharp arrows on Bhishma. Fortunately, it was sunset. Sunset, no more war. Okay, now what is Dharma? Can anyone of you guess? Can anyone of you guess what is Dharma now?
Stop the war, Swamiji.
They stopped the war, that I said, Malleshwari. Sunset, no more war. Can you guess what next?
Go and serve the Acharya, like serve his wounds.
Exactly. Bhishma came to the tent of Parashurama, again prostrated. He himself, Bhishma's body is also there, pricked by so many sharp pieces of arrows from Parashurama. But still, with all his pain aside, Bhishma came, started removing all the metal particles that are there stuck in the body of Parashurama, applied beautiful herbal creams on the body of Parshurama to heal him, to heal his wounds. Again prostrated at the feet of his Acharya. And with Parashurama's permission, Bhishma came back to his tent. Immediately, Bhishma's chariot driver, she started removing all the sharp metal pieces stuck in the body of Bhishma, applied all the herbal creams that overnight they can heal and that will make the body normal. The wounds that are there so deep and bleeding, overnight they will be healing and will be a normal person by next morning for the fight. They had that kind of medications. Next, the second day of fight between Bhishma and Parashurama. The same thing. The minute Parashurama came and ready for fight, again, second day, Bhishma got down from the chariot, went, prostrated to Parashurama. And again Parashurama smiled. Enough, 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 get ready for the war. Unimaginable fight. They used even not about arrows, astras. Bhishma used the Vayvyastram on Parashurama. Parashurama used the Guhyakastra and made it just, invalid. Bhishma used the Agneyastra. Parashurama countered it with the Varunastra. Same thing, Parashurama is using Divyastras. Bhishma is countering them with his own astras. In a Dharma Yuddham, you should never be on the left of your enemy and fight. You should be either in front or on the right of the enemy and fight. But if you go to the left of the enemy and start shooting, that indicates I am defeated, I am resorting to any means to fight with you. Parashurama at one stage has to accept his defeat and as though retreating went to the left side of Bhishma and still started hurting him. Bhishma did not expect Parashurama will come to the left side of him and then will hit him. When Bhishma fell unconscious for a few minutes, the entire retinue of Parashurama were cheering him up, including Amba, who was there watching the fight. Bhishma recovered. Bhishma started using very, very sharp weapons against Parashurama. And Parashurama again fell unconscious. Again. When Parashurama became unconscious, Bhishma got down from his chariot, left his weapons in the chariot itself, ran to Parashurama and held him in his embrace. Bhishma holds Parashurama in his embrace, brings some water and sprinkles on Parashurama and started fanning Parashurama. Parashurama recovered after some time in the arms of Bhishma himself. The minute Parashurama recovered, Parashurama said, "Enough, Bhishma, enough. Go, get ready for the fight." It was an unimaginable sight for all the people to see. A wonderful Guru-Sishya relationship. Well, the fight went on and on and on. Parashurama created some kind of a Shakti, means like a demon that will come and wipe out. Bhishma did not create any Kshuddra Shaktis. He used his weapons, his arrows, just to cut that Shakti into pieces. Parashurama created 12 more such demons to come and kill Bhishma. Extremely fast, Bhishma reacted. What you call as in science of reflexes. In a fight, who will win? The one with the greatest reflexes. Parashurama created 12 unimaginable demons to come and kill Bhishma. Bhishma reacted equally fast. Released 12 arrows simultaneously to hit all the 12 targets at the same time and kill them. Parashurama created a new kind of a weapon. That new kind of a weapon, one weapon will produce 1,000 weapons. One arrow will produce 1,000 arrows, like a bunch. Release one arrow, but that manifests into 1,000 arrows and came. Bhishma equally retaliated all of them. Can you imagine? Parashurama killed the chariot driver of Bhishma. Bhishma is helpless. Bhishma is helpless now because there is no chariot driver. With another arrow, Parashurama made Bhishma unconscious. When Bhishma fell down, he could see the 8 Vasus in his vision. He could see the 8 Vasus. And when Bhishma opened his eyes, to his great surprise, he found a new chariot driver. He found a new chariot driver. Can you guess who is that chariot driver now? Anyone of you? Could you guess who is the new chariot driver that was protecting Bhishma? Emma?
Shikandi.
Shikhandi is Amba. Amba did not become Shikhandi yet. Amba is there waiting for an opportunity to kill Bhishma. She could not kill Bhishma. She is the one who went to Parashurama, requesting him, either you tell your Shishya Bhishma to marry me or kill him.
Oh, correct.
And Amba is still there like a woman Amba. Not yet Shikhandi. Shikhandi is the next birth of Amba. None other than Ganga Devi. Bhishma's mother Ganga Devi was there when Bhishma was unconscious. To protect her son from the onslaught of weapons of Parashurama, when Bhishma's chariot driver fell down, dharma we cannot imagine. Ganga Devi herself came and sat as the chariot driver and took Bhishma's chariot to a side, to a safe zone. Before the fight, they declare some safe zones. When somebody is in a safe zone, you should not fight. Ganga. When Bhishma came back to his consciousness, Bhishma was so thrilled to see his mother Ganga, prostrated to his mother, and with the blessings of the 8 Vasus, again Bhishma started fighting. It is now Bhishma's time. He used sharp weapons and made Parashurama unconscious. After Parashurama's recovery, that's it. fight starts again. Unimaginable fight. The 8 Vasus gave a special weapon to Bhishma, Prasvapa. And the Vasus said, Vishwakarma made this special weapon. Even Parshurama is not aware of it. Use this weapon, you will become victorious. But remember, it will not kill. It is called Prasvapa. It will make the other person only unconscious and will put them to sleep. Prasvapa. And use this Prasvapa. Bhishma will be put to sleep. Sorry, Parashurama will be put to sleep. He will become unconscious. No more fighting. Now you want to bring him back to consciousness? Okay, you know you have another weapon. Sambodhanastra. With that you can wake him up. See the fighting. When there is no way that Parashurama can win, Parashurama used the Brahmastram against Bhishma. Brahmastram. There is no weapon that can counteract Brahmastram except another Brahmastram. Therefore, Bhishma has no choice but to release another Brahmastram. And the two Brahmastras could not hit. Parashurama's Brahmastram could not hit Bhishma. Bhishma's Brahmastram could not hit Parashurama. They were there mid-air. Looks as though the whole world is trembling. To what extent will the war go between Parashurama and Bhishma? Bhishma decided, only way to stop this is to use that Prasvapana Astra so that at least he will be unconscious. At that point, all the Devi Devatas came and requested Bhishma, look Bhishma, everybody knows how great you are in following Dharma. Whatever it be, Parashurama is your teacher. Parashurama is a Brahmarshi, Brahmana. Parashurama is a Tapasvi. Therefore, don't do that. And Parashurama realized that Bhishma is capable of using the Prasvapanastra, but at the request of Devatas, see Dharma, how you have to follow. Bhishma did not use it. Parashurama accepted his defeat. See the relationship between a teacher and a student. Parashurama accepted his defeat. And he said, Bhishma, the capable person of releasing the weapon, did not release. That is Dharma. Therefore, I accept my defeat. At that point, now you want to hear Dharma, sir? Parashurama's father Jamadagni, Jamadagni's father Ruchika, they all came to Parashurama and chided Parashurama. Parashurama, we told you, do not leave Brahmana Dharma, but you did not listen to us. You accepted Kshatriya Dharma. Agreed, Kartaviryarjuna killed Jamadagni. But you resorted to Kshatriya Dharma and started fighting with Kshatriyas. Now, even with Bhishma, a Dharmatma, you started fighting. Not good for you. To fight is a Kshatriya Dharma. Parashurama, you are a Brahmana. Vedadhyanam, Bhagavadaradhana, Adhyanam, Adhyapakatvam, Yajanam, Yajanam, Danam, Pratikruhitvam. These are the Shatkarmas for you, for your Varnashrama Dharma, Parashurama. You left Vedadhyanam, you left teaching Vedas, you left doing the pujas, you left officiating for pujas, you left Danam, you left Pratikruhitvam. You resorted to Kshatriya Dharma. Not good for you. And Parashurama's forefathers, they instructed Parashurama, even if you fight for so many years, you cannot defeat Bhishma. Because in Brahma's creation, this Bhishma is destined to die in the hands of Arjuna, of course using Shikhandi as a shield. When Parashurama did not listen, the forefathers of Parashurama came and made Parashurama leave the weapons. When Parashurama dropped the weapons, Dharmam, all the Devi Devatas, the 8 Vasus, came and told Bhishma, go and prostrate to your Acharya, he renounced the weapons. So, when the Devi Devatas asked Bhishma to go, Bhishma came and prostrated to Parashurama. Parashurama, out of his magnanimity, said, Bhishma, I appreciate your talent. I appreciate your heroism. I appreciate your Dharma Rakshana. Then Parashurama called Amba. Amba, I gave you a promise I will convince Bhishma. But you have seen, I fought my best. Bhishma is superior to me. I got defeated by Bhishma. There is nothing I can do. Now you know. Amba decided, if you cannot defeat Bhishma, I will find a way how to defeat Bhishma. Amba is not happy to accept Bhishma's greatness. Amba is not willing. And finally she did so much of tapasya to Shankara. And Shankara said, no way. In this life you cannot do anything to Bhishma. In the next birth only, you will be responsible for the death of Bhishma. And when she did Ghora Tapasya to Shankara, that Shulapani Umapati, then Shankara said, yes, you will be able to defeat Bhishma. Amba asked Shankara, I am a woman. How can I defeat Bhishma? Shankara said, I said you will be able to defeat Bhishma. I didn't say when. I'm telling you, not in this life. Take another life. Even if you take another life, he will remember your past life. You will be born. You will be born as a daughter of Drupada, but later will become a man, and Bhishma has a promise, pledge, that he will not fight with a person who was born as a woman, then transformed into a man. He will not fight. Then you will be the one responsible for the end of Bhishma. See, dharma in Mahabharata is beyond our imagination. Now, the next stage after the Amba's episode to talk about dharma. Everything is set for the war. Bhishma, commander-in-chief, first day of war. Before Bhagavad Gita, this morning I gave you a clue. Arjuna offered great prayers to Durga. And who asked Arjuna to offer prayers to Durga? Krishna. So, what do you understand about dharma here? Arjuna offered prayers to Durga. Arjuna offered prayers to Durga. Bhadrakali namastubhyam mahakali namostute chandi chande namastubhyam tarani varavarnini katyayini mahabhage karali vijayeje shikipinchat dvayadhare nanabharana bhushate attashula praharane khadga khetakadharine gopehendrasya anuje jeshte nanda gopakulodbhave उमा शाकंभरी श्वेते कृष्णे कैटभनाशिनी हिरण्याक्षी विरूपाक्षी सुधूम्राक्षी नमोस्तुते. So Arjuna offered prayers. Durga gave blessings to Arjuna. So what do you understand from this? Why did Krishna ask Arjuna to pray to Durga? And why did Arjuna pray? This is what I said in the morning. Any ideas, Amma? Anybody thought about it? Well, why should you think about it? It's okay. Anyway, he will tell in the evening, right? So why waste your time? Is that what you thought? Imma? Anyone of you, any answer, Imma? Anyone of you? Why
Because
did Krishna ask Arjuna to pray to Durga and Arjuna prayed? Go ahead, somebody say.
because Gopikas also prayed to Durga, and Rukmini Devi also prayed to Durga.
That doesn't mean Gopikas were not successful, only Rukmini became successful. So it's a 50-50 chance. Why Krishna said that? Imma, anyone of you? Dharmam is very subtle. Go ahead, Imma.
Yeah.
Namanarayan Swamiji, I don't know if this is right. My thought was like before they go on that Agnatavasam, he places them on Vruksham and then gives responsibility to be protected, right? So maybe he's taking them back from her.
No. They did not offer them under the care of Durga. They kept them on a Shami Vruksham. Remember, sometimes the Acharya will test you whether you have absolute faith in Bhagavan and Dharma. The Acharya will try to trick you. Oh, it seems everybody is praying to Durga. Maybe you should. A student who knows Dharma will fall at the feet of Acharya and say, have I committed any offense, Swami, that you are guiding me in this direction? I am sure I have committed an offense. Otherwise, a Mahatma like you, why will you instruct me to do Anya Devata pujas? Since you said that, I consider that you are not instructing me to do that puja. I take it as a test for my Mahavishwasam in my absolute surrender to you. Because Arjuna, for every now and then, he says, oh Krishna, I surrender to you, I surrender to you. Arjuna is not realizing Krishna is trying to trick him. And Arjuna fell for it. Arjuna went. So sometimes Acharyas will give instructions only to know whether the student is mature enough to realize the real intention of the Acharya is not to advise you to do Anya Devata pujas, but to advise you or to have a reconfirmation. The Acharya wants to have a reconfirmation that the student is really following Paratantriyam, not Swatantriyam. So the Acharyas will try to trick you. This is one of the tricks played by Krishna. Arjuna did not realize it. He fell for it. And of course, as usual, Dukkham Gamayati Durgaha. So anything materialistic she can, and she gave a blessing. But one good thing, you know what? Even though Krishna said and Arjuna prayed to Durga, now this is a very, very important verse about Dharma. You may say, come on, Swami, you are talking about Dharma. Why do you bring in Durga and all the people? Because Durga talks about Dharma here. The reason I brought all this thing is because of Dharma. I'm not deviating, Mala, from our topic, Dharma. Okay, for those of you who want to enjoy real Dharma, go to Mahabharata, go to Bhishma Parvam, go to Bhishma Parvam. In Bhishma Parvam, 23rd chapter, 28th verse, this is what Durga himself says about Dharma. Yatra dharmo jite kantihi, yatra shristadha matihi, yato dharmaha tatah krishnah, yatah krishnah tato jayah. A wonderful verse about Dharma. You know what Durga is telling? Yato dharmaha tatah krishnah, yatah krishnah tato jayah. This is the instruction, last instruction of Durga to Arjuna. Arjuna, you are not realizing where there is a dharma, there only Krishna will be. Where there is a Krishna, that is where victory will be. Did you see? You are thinking that I made up something, that Krishna is tricking Arjuna. No, that Yoga Maya, who is none other than Durga, is now telling poor Arjuna, having a Krishna on your side, you are praying to me, my child, learn from me, learn from me. Dharma personified, Dharmo Vigrahavan. Dharma personified is Krishna. Where there is a Dharmam, there is Krishna. Where there is Krishna, that is victory. Arjuna, you wasted your precious time. There is absolutely no need even for you to pray for me. Krishna, the Paramapurusha, the Dharma Murti, where there is Dharma, there is Krishna, where there is Krishna, there is victory. Try to learn this, at least in Mahabharata. Just one line for all of you to remember I think I'll try to type it and send to all of you and post it. Yato dharmaha tatah Krishnaha. Yatah Krishnaha tato jayaha. Very easy to remember. Now, as usual, the entire Bhagavad Gita. So why I picked this topic of Durga blessing Arjuna is because the Durga gives a great insight into dharma to all of us. That Parvati himself knows Amba, Shambhavi, Bhadrakali, Uma, Katyayani, Gauri, Vaishnavi, Narayani, Kanyaka, Shamundi, 14 names of Durga. She knows Bhagavan Sri Krishna is the Paramapurusha. He will be there only, as Bhagavad Gita is concluded, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno, Yatra Pardho Dhanudharaha, Tatra Srirdriyo Bhutihi, Dhruva Nitirmatirmama. Wherever there is Krishna and Arjuna, there is where victory, there is where he will be there. That's what exactly even before Bhagavad Gita, Durga is telling Arjuna, poor Arjuna, you have Krishna, the Dharma personified. Where there is Dharma, there is Krishna. Where there is Krishna, there is victory. What is the need for you to pray for me? Okay, now comes the greatness of Krishna. As the war was going on, Bhishma is fighting in the most terrible form. Terrible means terrible form. There is no way, in spite of Bhishma fighting his best, there is no way Pandavas are getting defeated. And that is a great concern. That is a great concern to Duryodhana. So Duryodhana goes to Pitamaha. Duryodhana is in a great dilemma. He goes to Bhishma and he's asking, Mahatma, Bhishma Deva, Dronascha, Tamcha, Shalyanscha, Krupo, Dronas Tadhaivacha, Krutavarma Hardikyaha, Kambhojascha, Sudakshanaha, Bhurishrava, Vikarnascha, Bhagadattascha, Viryavan, Maharadha Samakhyataha, Kuraputra Stamatyajaha, Tatrame Samshime Jataha, Tan Mama Cheksha Pruchyataha, Yam Samasitya Kaunteyaha, Jayanti Asman Kshane Kshane. Ah, what a wonderful way of asking a question. Mahabharata is really great. I do not know about you, but when we were young, they used to say, I know present day you may not like, but it seems Mahabharata is the most captivating form of a real incident that happened, which Vedavyasa has penned it. Very captivating. And in that, dharma is very, very sukshma. Therefore, Duryodhana comes to Bhishma. Mahatma, 5 days of war is over. You are fighting at your best. Not only you. On our side, there is Drona, yourself, Shalya, Krupacharya, Ashwadhama, Krutavarma, Hardikya, Kambhoja, Sudakshana, Bhurishrava, Vikarna, Bhagadatta. My goodness. So many heroes are there. In spite of that, Dharmaraja is still able to withstand. Every time Dharmaraja is coming out successful. Duryodhana thought with Bhishma as commander-in-chief, And that too with 11 Akshauhinis on his side. 7 Akshauhinis only on Pandava's side. Very few Maharathis. Duryodhana thought war will be over in a day or two. Will be over in a day or two. No, war is not ending. War is not ending. And Duryodhana could not take it. Duryodhana is asking Bhishma, tell me, what is it that Yudhishthira Dharmaraja is doing, that every time he comes out successful? Now Bhishma is telling. Bhishma is fighting with Arjuna, but still Bhishma is telling Duryodhana. Then he asked, Duryodhana, listen to this. Yo jayet pandavan sarvan palitan sharanga dhanvana. Duryodhana, you are forgetting one thing. There is a Mahatma there. Sharngi, Sharngi. The great bow, Sharngam, in the hands of Sriman Narayana. The one who is having that great bow, Sharngam, Sharngi. When Krishna is there with Arjuna, when Pandavas are there protected by Krishna, do you think there is anyone in this entire universe who can defeat them? The entire universe, if Krishna is there to protect someone, nobody can defeat them. No harm can ever happen. Now, that is what exactly Mahatma Vedanta Deshika says. Not directly about Krishna, but another form of Krishna, Lakshmi Nrsimha. Tvairakshati rakshakaihi kimanyaihi, tvaicharakshati rakshakaihi kimanyaihi, iti nishtarihi shrayami nityam, grahate brahmati parasvayam. Hey Lakshmi Nrsimha, if you are there to protect someone, why does anybody need any other protection? If you are not thinking of protecting, nobody can protect them. Bhishma is saying, this Krishna is not an ordinary person. Mahoraga Varahadya Harikesha Vibhojaya Harivasa Dishamisha Vishwavasa Mitavyaya. This Krishna is not just a Yadava. This Krishna is not just the son of Vasudeva. This Krishna is not the darling of the Gopikas. This Krishna is the Paramapurusha. This Krishna is Varaha. This Krishna is Nrasimha. This Krishna is Narayana. This Krishna is Padmanabha. This Krishna is Satyaswarupa. This same Sriman Narayana, out of his own will, manifested as Sankarshana. From Sankarshana, he remanifested as Pradyumna. From Pradyumna, he remanifested as Aniruddha. The four Vyuha forms. Bhishma is telling, have you forgotten Duryodhana? Many times we told you, I told you, Vidura told you, you never paid attention. This Krishna is Parandhama. This Krishna is Paravasudeva. This Krishna incarnated on the planet Earth along with his twin Nara and Narayana as Arjuna and Krishna. Even if the entire universe comes against them, nobody can fight with Nara and Narayana. Nobody can defeat them. Now Bhishma is telling, this Bhishma, this Krishna, yoginam tam mahatmanam pravishtam manushim tanum. That Paravasudeva, as Krishna says, avajananti mam mudha manushim tanamashritam param bhava majananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. Bhishma is telling Duryodhana, you do not know, this Supreme Lord Sriman Narayana accepted a human form with his own yoga shakti. Nobody can fight with Krishna. Nobody can stand before Krishna. Now again he is saying, Yasmad dishasi govindam pandavam tam dhananjayam nara narayanau devo konyo dvishyadhimanavaha. Duryodhana, you are hating Arjuna, you are hating Krishna. You are forgetting one thing. This Arjuna is not just Arjuna, he is a Nara. This Krishna is not just Krishna, he is Narayana. Now Bhishma is concluding again. As I told you, those of you who want to follow Dharma, come back. Before, I told you in the Bhishma Parva, Durga is telling in the 23rd chapter, Yato Dharmaha Tatah Krishnaha Yatah Krishnaha Tato Jayaha. Now, you want to hear Dharma, sir? Make a note of it. Go back to the same Bhishma Parva in Mahabharata. Before it was 23rd Adhyayam. Now come back to 67th chapter. Sorry, 66th chapter. Chapter number 66, verse number 35. Bhishma is telling, Rajan Sarvamayo Sheshaha Tamo Raga Vivarjitaha Yatah Krishnaha Tato Dharmaha Yato Dharmaha Tato Jayaha. Not only Durga. Bhishma doesn't know Durga instructed Arjuna. Now Bhishma's own estimation and revelation to Duryodhana. Duryodhana, there is no way we can win because Yatah Krishnaha Tato Dharmaha Yato Dharmaha Tato Jayaha. He slightly changed it. Look what Durga said. Yato Dharmaha Tatah Krishnaha. Where there is Dharma, there is Krishna. Where there is Krishna, there is victory. What did Bhishma say? Yatah Krishnaha Tato Dharmaha. Yato Dharmaha Tato Jayaha. See how they play on the words. Wherever there is Krishna, Dharma must be there. Wherever there is Dharma, victory should be there. Could you see how they play in Sanskrit? Durga said, listen carefully, Yato Dharmaha Tatah Krishnaha Yatah Krishnaha Tato Jayaha. Where there is Dharma, there is Krishna. Where there is Krishna, there is victory. What did Bhishma say? Slightly different. Same thing. Yatah Krishnaha Tato Dharmaha. Where there is Krishna, there must be Dharma. Yato Dharmaha Tato Jayaha. Do you mean to say Duryodhana will accept it? No way, no way. Now, Dharma, Bhishma goes on instructing Duryodhana. Duryodhana, you are thinking that I am a great hero. I am great, but not great before Krishna. If at all you want to hear the greatness of Krishna, go to Markandeya Maharshi. That Markandeya Maharshi who had the divine vision of Bhagavan at the time of tsunami, Pralayam. Kararavindena padaravindam mukharavinde viniveshayantam vatasya patrasya puteshayanam balam mukundam manasasmarami. That Markandeya Maharshi knows the greatness of Krishna. One more time I am telling you, Duryodhana, this is dharma, this is dharma. Esha dharmascha dharmajnaha, varadaha sarvakamadah, esha kartacha karyancha, purvadevaha swayam prabhuhu. Arjuna, sorry, Duryodhana, what you are not realizing is this Supreme Lord Krishna is dharma personified. This Supreme Lord Krishna is the only one who knows dharma. This Supreme Lord Krishna is the only one who is called Varada. This Supreme Lord Krishna is the only one who can fulfill everyone's desires. This Supreme Lord Krishna is the Karta, Karma and Kriya. This Supreme Lord Krishna is Adi Deva. See how he defines dharma. He is dharma and he is the only one who knows dharma. Now, for you people, reassurance from Bhishma. Reassurance from Bhishma. Bhishma Parvam Mahabharata, 67th chapter, verse number 24. Ye cha Krishnam prapadyante, tena buhyanti manavaha, bhaye mahati magnamscha, pati nityam janardanaha. I don't know whether you like it or not. I don't know whether you like it or not, but this is what dharma is. This is what dharma is. Gita, are you listening, Gita? Okay, here it is. Bhishma is telling, do Sharanagati at the feet of Krishna. Ye cha Krishnam prapatyante, prapatti, Sharanagati. Sharanagati. Do Sharanagati at the feet of Krishna. Na muhyanti manavaha. You will not fall victim to Maya. You will not fall victim to Maya. Bhaye mahati magnascha. Whatever be your problem, whatever be the most fearful situation for you, Pati nityam janardanaha. That Janardana Krishna will always protect you. That's what Krishna said. Daivi hesha gunamayi mamamaya durachaya mame vaye prapadyante mayam etan tarantite. Prapatti sharanagati. Bhishma Deva is reiterating, those who did sharanagati at the feet of Krishna, they are the only ones who can overcome Maya, because by our own effort nobody can overcome Maya. Whereas Krishna, if you do sharanagati, he will protect you, whatever be your problem, whatever be the cause of your fear, whatever be the calamity. So, for today, dharma, namely, esha dharmascha dharmajnaha, varadaha sarvakamadaha. Varadaha sarvakamadaha. Where there is dharma, there is Krishna. Where there is Krishna, there is victory. Mala, are you happy with dharma for today, man?
Yes, Swamiji.
You never thought, you know one funniest thing, sir? Mala gave me one class for dharma from Mahabharata. Right now, I am only in Bhishma Parva. And after Bhishma Parva, we still have Drona Parva. Karna Parva, Shalya Parva, Saptika Parva, Stri Parva, Shanti Parva. Oh my goodness, that Shanti Parva is an unimaginable topic, unimaginable chapter. And Anushasana Parva, Ashtamedha Parva, Ashrama Vasaka Parva, Mausala Parva, Mahaprasthana Parva, Swargarohana Parva. You understand, Mala, what Mahabharata is 100,000 verses. You know how many hours I am spending to pick up dharma, dharma, dharma? Good. A few minutes for your questions, please. Hello, unmute your phones. Questions, please. Sir, no questions?
Swami,
Namo Narayana Swami, I have a question. So when you said Paratantram, like, so you don't question what Guru or Bhagavan says, and you just follow it without using any thought process of yours. So then if Arjuna followed the same, how did it become Swatantram from him?
Tell me, I did not follow. If Arjuna followed, where did Arjuna follow?
No, you said, like, Krishna himself told him to test him, like, go and pray to Durga. So if he is following the Paratrantam, so then he should go and do without even asking any question.
I see.
yes, Swami. I will also add my question, which is very related.
Go ahead.
Durga is Krishna's sister, right? As Durga Maya, Yoga Maya. Then why should not Arjuna think that I should give respect to Krishna's sister?
Oh, I see. Now, two things. Respect is different, worship is different. Even after Sharanagati, we respect every Devi Devata, Shankara, Ganesha, Parvati, Indra, everyone, versus we respect. But worship is only restricted to Krishna. Number one. What Arjuna did is worship, not respect, stotram, expecting a benefit. Coming back to the other question, if Paratantriyam is following Krishna's words, if Arjuna did it, what is wrong? Arjuna did not follow Krishna's words. First thing, Arjuna did not do Sharanagati. Without Sharanagati, getting Paratantram is very difficult. Even after Sharanagati, one has to really struggle to overcome Swatantriyam and to accept Paratantriyam. He did not do that. So far, Krishna did not instruct Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna praying to Durga was just before Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna did not realize Krishna is tricking him. It is just like I do not know how many of you can follow this. Some students who are appearing for a master's in electronics and electromagnetic fields were doing some practicals. Where they have to create a small electromagnetic field and see how charged particles get attracted, etc. When they do all this experiment set up in the lab for the practicals test, the external examiner, he will come and say, okay, the student will go and say, yes sir, my field is ready, you can come and check. I can see the movement on the meters. So that means electromagnetic field is now on. So, the examiner will come. First he will come. He say, good. He will go one round and come back after 1 minute. Show me again. And this time, the field, instead of deflecting the needle in the right, it will deflect to the left. He says, something is wrong, man. What happened? What happened? What happened? The student is confused a lot. If the student is confused and keeps on reconnecting, redoing the whole thing, he's not smart. The external examiner is only interested in tricking the student, whether he knows, he has the common sense to understand the examiner is tricking him. Sir, I did everything correct. You saw the deflection to the right. If something has happened, now it is deflected to the left. I understand there is an external field that is there. That is why it is deflecting in the opposite direction. If he says that, the examiner will be so overwhelmed and say, you are absolutely correct, my friend. Just to trick you, I got a very powerful magnet in my pocket and came. Just to see whether you will realize the presence of an external magnetic field. You got it, you got 100%. Tricking the student. The examiner wants to know to what extent you will go. Just 1 second, 1 second. Yes, Partha. సాత్రిమలకి ఈరోజు మనం చెప్పిన ఇది ఉంది చూడు, పెరియాళ్వార్ తిరుమలలో 20 వరకు 20th chapter లో లాస్ట్ 2. ఓకే సార్. 20th chapter లో లాస్ట్ 2. ఓకే సార్. So that is how Arjuna did not do Sharanagati. Arjuna did not have absolute faith in Krishna. Arjuna is still thinking, even after listening to Bhagavad Gita, even after Arjuna says, Sishyasteham sadhyamam tvam prapannam, accept me as your student and accept me as one who surrendered to you. And when Arjuna and Krishna is asking in the 18th chapter, Kaschideta Shrutam Partha Tvayai Kagrena Chetasa Kaschid Ajnana Sammohaha Pranashtaste Dhananjaya. Even though Arjuna said, Nashto Mohaha Smritil Labdha Tat Prasadan Mayachyuta Stitosmi Gatasandehaha Karishye Vachanantava. Oh, no problem, Krishna, no problem. I am very settled, well settled. My doubts are cleared. My ignorance is gone. I will do what you said. But he did not do Sharanagati. That's why even during the battle also he wanted to do Shiva Puja and offered the flowers on Krishna's insistence on his feet. And got a doubt whether this Krishna, the flowers I offered at Krishna's feet, did they really reach Shankara? Immediately he ran there in the evening to see the same flowers he offered at Krishna's feet are there on the head of Shankara. Therefore, Arjuna did not follow Paratantra. Arjuna did only Swatantra. Look at Prahlada. When Lakshmi Narasimha asked, Prahlada, I want to bless you with something, ask for a boon. Prahlada said, Prabhu, have I committed any offense, Prabhu? Are you testing me, Prabhu, with the offer of boons? Are you tricking me, Prabhu? That is Paratantra. Because Paratantriam, you know the heart of the Acharya. Prahlada knows the heart of Lakshmi Narasimha. Real Paratantriam. Prabhu, you are tempting me with the offer of boons. Have I committed any offense, Prabhu, that you are tricking me? Paratantriam. Understand, Sudha?
Yes, Swamiji.
Okay, ma. Any other questions, ma? We'll continue Mahabharata, ma. Because especially Shanti Parvam, Anushasanika Parvam, has a tons and tons of dharma. The supremacy of Narayana, the supremacy of the Vedas, the supremacy of dharma, the supremacy of Sharanagati, the supremacy of Bhagavad Aradhana, lots of things in dharma. That's why Mahabharata is an ocean, 100,000 verses. Narayan. No questions, sir, anyone of you? Okay, ma, we'll continue next Sunday. Narayana, 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 Narayana.